No, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
All right, I'm Primus Vekuh and the CTO of Primus Cloud Solutions. And I've been in the IT space for a while in IT. Um, and I've worked as the leading IT firms as far as new technologies are concerned. Primus Learning is a company that is aimed at revolutionizing education as far as IT training is concerned, hands-on practical training. I usually way uh, the careers current learning is to train people with those practical skills that help. I currently do not talk about IT jobs in terms of locations, uh, the global aspect. IT careers now are very global. Wherever you are in Cameroon, in Kenya, in train people wherever they are and help them get access to that IT money. And then Primus Cloud Solutions is all engineering, cloud computing in general. Is The Western world has embraced it, and most organizations. So it's an opportunity of data engineering. You see the revolution of big data. You see the revolution of data science in general, because they are able to store those huge volumes of data in the cloud, coming of cloud computing. And so it's a heavy thing. And Primus Cloud Technology organizations that want to improve on this technology, on the way they are very interested by the subject, and that's why I'm here. Thank you.
Awesome. About your PhD being in cloud technology, and you are currently in the tech education business,
where you can literally do it without literature background, right, or an English background, a philosophy background. I came from a philosophy theology background, right, able to grow in IT. Peculiar thing that you can grow, and it's all about the practical part of it. When a company is hiring you, they're hiring you to do a particular thing. So you need a particular skill set to be able to do that. One of the things you'll be hearing of DevOps engineering, which you mentioned, there's cloud architecting, which you mentioned. Those are some of the things. Data engineering, those are some of the practical things that we teach people. And how do we teach people? We give you the skills and help you to do the exact thing that you'll be doing at your job, because organizations are looking for people who can automate their processes and help them get release software quicker in the market, make processes easier for organizations. With the coming of COVID, so many people do not want to be manually doing things. They want to just automate things and have them run. We teach you those new technologies that will help you become a better DevOps engineer. And literally, when you are a good DevOps engineer, for instance, you can be in Cameroon and work anywhere in the world. If you're a good cloud architect, you can be in wherever you are and have a job anywhere. You can be a good data scientist and be anywhere and work for any company. So it's about the skill set, the practical skill set. And our organization, Primus Learning, is just helping people get to that point where they can literally say, hey, I have this specific skill set. There are a lot of people who are very traditional, who have done cloud information technology, who have done computer science, but they are so traditional that they don't have practical skill sets. They have everything, general skill sets. They know the concepts, they know the theories and all that, but they do not have that particular thing. Those are some of the things we're trying to help people give them the skills that will help them get access to the recent jobs, to those jobs that are popular, as you mentioned, in the marketplace.
Exciting stuff going on at Primus Learning. Back again to Africa, of course, because your PhD it's more centered towards Africa. We do have limitations. Some of the viewers texted me a couple of minutes ago talking about the limitations, such as internet bandwidth and limitation accessing services online or running cloud. Knowing that cloud is web-based and it needs reliable internet connection, how do we tend to close the gap in this aspect?
Right, there is internet ever, right? So as far as Africa is concerned, there's that limitation which is taken into consideration when we're talking about cloud adoption. Most of the things that I've rather seen when it comes to hesitations in cloud adoption have been security issues. Many people and organizations in Africa are like, hey, will I just put my data out there? And there's cyber security issues that affect a lot of people. But of course, cloud technologies and cloud providers have robust systems that they have put in place that help overcome some of those challenges that are out there. But as far as internet connectivity is concerned, the organizations that have connectivity as using different providers in Africa. You have MTN, you have Orange, and others. There are so many others out there, and of course there is and Elon Musk, who is revolutionizing that internet space, right? With his company out there is Starlink. I think it's becoming something, and most organizations that are out there who have reached that level of adopting cloud, right? Are able to secure themselves that kind of connectivity that permits them to connect to the internet and use services in the internet. So I think it's not a big problem as far as organizations are concerned, but as far as maybe individuals are concerned, that's where you begin to see some of those limitations. But I think as things evolve, as things go on, there's possibility that Africa will be a great space for cloud computing.
It is already, because when you look at some of the opportunities in Africa, it surprises you to see cloud technology being required, and you get to ask yourself that. But I thought this was a limitation. I thought internet was a limitation. And
Right.
coming to talk the conversation about the revolutionization by tech gurus, we have Elon Musk, for example. I remember there was an issue back in Africa, I think that was in Nigeria or which part of Africa, and he openly posted that he's available to distribute the Starlink technology for a couple of time. So that's a great point, of course. But I know you're on this next question, you've been basing heavily on cloud technology, but I still want to ask, right? So on-prem hosting versus cloud hosting, where's the tech market today, and where are we headed to?
Yeah, so I think the tech market is as far as when I'm talking about careers, I'm usually very passionate because that's what we do, right? I have this model that I've put together. When we meet again, I shared it on WhatsApp with you. When we meet again, I'll share that model. It's basic diagram which kind of shows the transition from traditional computing to a kind of model that is recent. I termed it somewhat a new model of careers in IT, right? And you discover that things are transitioning gradually. Roles that used to be very traditional are gradually moving towards something else, and so the job descriptions are changing. You could be, maybe you were doing a systems engineering at first. Currently, you could find yourself being described as a DevOps engineer because maybe you've added a couple of things to your skill sets, right? A couple of tools in your skill sets. And so things are changing gradually, and roles that used to be very traditional on premise are gradually moving to the cloud. And that's why you see that growth. I saw the green arrow on your diagram there. That's very indicative of what I'm saying, right? So things are changing a little bit towards cloud computing. Most organizations even host their servers, things that used to run on premise in the cloud, and so careers are gradually shifting towards the cloud space. When it comes to data engineering, you hear of data engineers that can operate very well in the cloud. You hear of database administrators that can operate in the cloud. So you'll be hearing of maybe Azure database administrators, RDS administrators, or databases that are hosted in AWS, and so on and so forth. You hear of architects who are no longer just architecting solutions on premise, but they're architecting solutions that are in the cloud. You hear of data scientists who are building models and stuff mostly in the cloud space. They store the data in the cloud. They're able to work on the cloud. And once you do that, your title changes a bit, your money increases a bit, and that's just what cloud computing is offering. And there's really a shift as far as careers are concerned. From traditional to the current roles that we have.
Awesome. Of course, you've highlighted on this, and I kind of share a similar experience because like you said, in fields like database, we now see a turn from regular database administrator to a combination of systems and database, and calling it systems reliability engineer. So you see, when this posting comes out, you see job description goes as, we need someone with Oracle database, SQL Server database, Postgres database, someone with AWS, someone with DevOps experience, and you kind of ask yourself that who is filling all this role. But you've touched on insights, right? You've touched on insights on cloud technology and everything. So tell us a little bit about your training and how your training goes.
All right. So our training is basic. It's about 7-8 months kinds of trainings. Where there are some programs that we're pushing to a year now. Because we really want people to be very solid as far as their skill sets are concerned. Sometimes you train people, they're out there and they always need help, which is not beneficial to anyone, right? And so our training is 6 months. We usually do it online and on site. We have we have locations in Cameroon, in Boya, in Douala. So we have 2 on-site locations out there. But here in the US, we train online, so Zoom meetings in the evenings, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. Eastern. So we accept learners from everywhere, all over the world. We currently have different badges. There's a badge that I think will be starting September, October. So that it's a 7-8 months kind of program. We train you with the practical skills and help you with resume building, help you with interview preparations, and help you even when you get the jobs, right? We have different, as you must have noticed, we have different services that we offer as far as that is concerned. Yep. We have applications that we develop that are specifically meant to help our trainees, to build themselves up with the practical skills that we're talking about. So our training is basically hands-on kind of oriented, very practical training that we offer.
Yeah, which is similar to some of the modules that we see, and I always tell my viewers that if you ever ask me between a self-paced training and on live in-person training or in-person training, which one do I choose? And I always go with you need to be there. You need to be there in a cohort session, in a live session, whatever, whether it's on-site or online. But you need to work in a team. You need to participate. You need to see the instructor, get to ask questions, because that's what motivates you.
Exactly. When you're still starting off, right? It's very, very important that you kind of have that in-person connection. And then when maybe you've grown to a certain level, there are technologies that you can easily learn, because everything in IT is interconnected, and so it's easy for you to pick up when you're in there, you've worked and you know exactly what you're looking. You want to improve your skill set on a particular thing, you wanted to start off. It's really good to be in a space where you work together as a team, work with instructors and people who challenge you and give you the opportunity to keep going.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Primus. Just to remind our viewers that if you have questions to ask Primus, please go ahead and put that in the comment section. We will get back to Primus sometime later on after getting to meet with Anita. Thank you so much for joining us, Primus. Please just hang on for a few minutes while we talk to Anita.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.